Tools like Bolt and V0 and Lovable are amazing for no-code kind of single app development. But what about UI? What about making an app look great so your vibe coding efforts are well received in the market? Because the reality is these days, you can't just build something that works. It's got to look amazing and be really easy for users to adopt and onboard and get value. And that's where UI and UX, user interface and user experience, come in. Previously, we would have hired a professional UX designer or front-end designer, paying them thousands of dollars a month, and they would use something like Figma for this. Well, Google has an entirely free product called Stitch that does all of this for you. Just like all the no-code AI tools we've used to build applications and agents, it's doing this for UI. In this video, we're gonna make great looking UI for free with Google Stitch. Hey, I'm Craig Hewitt. Welcome back to 100 Days of AI. Let's dive in and see what Google Stitch is all about. So Google Stitch launched in May, and at the time it got overshadowed a little bit by things like Gemini 2.5 Pro, and then since then, Nano Banana. But you can see here on the website, stitch.withgoogle.com, it is in beta right now. Amazingly easy to build, and you can export your code to Figma or to a developer for them to implement and tweak from there, right? Free of charge right now, incredibly, just like a lot of Google products. Okay, so we're gonna give this a whirl and we're gonna design something. And so you can see here, you have options for mobile or web. We're gonna design for mobile, I think, just because a little more fun. And I think on mobile, since you have less screen real estate, design really becomes important. And it has a couple of options here. So user profile page for a guided meditation and mindfulness app. Nah, make me an app for people who love skiing in the Alps. Sure, we'll go with that one. And up here you can see start a new design in experimental mode using 2.5 Pro or standard mode 2.5 Flash. We're gonna go with the high-powered one and do it in 2.5 Pro. One shot, single sentence prompt, and it's gonna build us an app interface. And I wanted to talk about this because I think there's something going on in software and on the internet right now, which is AI-generated apps using V0 or Lovable or Bolt or Cursor or whatever look the same. And they look like crap, to be honest. And so using something like Stitch, like we're just not gonna do that, right? And so Stitch has come up with a comprehensive plan for us here. And we'll say, yep, looks great. Always be polite to your AI because they're going to rule the world one day, right? But cool. So it gave us a concept here, and we could have said like, oh no, I don't want a welcome screen. I want something else. But instead, like we're just going to go with it. And just for the purpose of this video, we're going to go back and make a web application next and for a tool that I'm building, and we'll be able to customize that because it'll be a little more involved. Okay, so estimated time here, 30 seconds. Back to my rant about AI generated kind of slop. It's everywhere, right? It's on social media, it's in YouTube, it's in places like Lovable and Volt and V0 with software that people are building that all look really boring and really bad and all the same. And so you got to stand out somehow, and using a tool like Stitch or being a great front-end designer and developer yourself has to happen. And so like this is just my unfair advantage because I am super terrible at this. Okay, so in about 30 seconds, we have Alpine Adventures, right? Great looking kind of front end here. And these are all the screens you would need for a mobile app, right? So this is a mobile app for people who want to ski in the Alps. I used to live like really close to here, an amazing part of the world. Okay, so this is the front page. You would click Get Started. You could explore all these places. It has a map. It has in-depth on Zermatt and what pieces or track are open right now, and it has profile, and you could optimize the profile and adjust it and stuff like that here. So, you know, geez, not bad for 30 seconds of work. You have a really great starting point, and then from here you can go cool, like I want to share this, I can copy this and share it with a team member, or I can export it to a place that I want to send it to, right? So I can download this design. It's going to download as a zip file. And if we open this, we can see these are the elements. It gives each screen, and it gets HTML and the images. So literally, you could then take this, go to V0 or Lovable or something, upload it and say, make these screens and make the app that does the things that the screens require, right? Pretty amazing. Okay, so that's mobile. So we just built a mobile app and we're 2 minutes into the video, right? We just built a mobile app with amazing looking UI. That's cool. Now let's create a web app because that's a little more complicated maybe, or at least you just got more real estate. And so I'm building one that's like an accountability tool for founders and CEOs. So I'm going to describe that and then have it build it. Okay, so here it is. So build an accountability tool that tracks the 3 major goals a CEO wants to accomplish in a given week. And the screens would be sign up, onboarding, 3 goals for the week, confirmation of the stated goals, and the fact we will check in with them via email on Friday, and then upsell message to do coaching with me privately. Cool. Let's see what it does. I think this is not quite exactly what we want, but as you can see, this is like a bit longer. It's going to flush all of this stuff out, hopefully, because I shouldn't have to give it every bit of detail that I want. I should be able to just say, generally, hey, go do this thing, please, and it will fill in the blanks. I'm guessing that we will have to tweak some of these. And I kind of made the prompt a little bit vague so that we would be able to come back to this later. Okay, we got the initial draft of the UI back from Stitch. Let's take a look and see what this looks like. So pretty basic, if I'm honest. This is the kind of AI slop that I was railing against, but it did get the bones right. So it asked, hey, tell me about this business. What is the industry you're in, company size, and your role? What are your 3 goals for this week? Great. I like how it has the helper text in here. That's cool. Goals submitted. Great. It didn't do what I asked to say back to the dashboard. But I guess that would have it then take us to this landing page. Okay, so not exactly right, but let's borrow some great design from another website and ask it to just make it look like that. So I like the Stripe website. I think it's really well done. It's really pretty. It has a lot of great elements to it. Stripe's a really popular payment processor. So let's just say, make it look like this. So I said, great, looks good, but just make it look better, right? That's just the goal. And so I think I had that one page selected, and so it's only going to do that one. Oh, that's interesting. But that's fine. So cool. We can just work on one page at a time. That's helpful. Let's see if we can then apply that new design that it gives us to all the other pages. That would be really cool. So if you hover over any of these pages, it gives you options. You can add this design to the chat, adjust the theme, make it bigger, see the code, and create variants of this for like split testing. Oh, cool. Okay. So it made it look like Stripe. Oh, cool. So it has, slightly better design here. So this one is compared to this one. And I agree, like that looks better. Okay, cool. Let's make the landing page better. Say, make this dark mode, use dark gray, black, and purple color, and add hand-drawn illustrations instead of cartoon style. So if you see this over here, like this doesn't work for me. But this is a pretty good landing page. And like I would use this as a beginning point. So let's go see what it comes up with for the splash of color, as it's saying. So we selected to just work on that page by clicking on it and highlighting it, and then typing in chat here. Now we will, after this, we're going to make the whole thing to have the ability to go to dark mode, because I think it's just something that a modern UI should have. And so we'll ask it to create variants of each of the designs with kind of a black background. All right, so dark mode, we're going to say dark mode all of these here in just a second, as soon as this is done. Okay, so assembly components wrapping up, almost done. Okay. Hey, that's like a heck of a lot better. I would publish that tomorrow. I will publish that tomorrow. So yeah, if you're interested, I'm building a accountability tool for business owners, founders, and CEOs If you want to check it out, links in the description to sign up for early access. By the time this video goes live, a page very much like this will be the one that you sign up at. So like if you landed on this page, you'd be like, heck yeah, this is great. This is like modern. This is cool. I'm in. I want to get started. Let's go. And so this is what we're going to go with. I think this is great. Okay, cool. So now let's make dark mode for all the other pages. So intentionally kind of vague. Let's see if it picks up on all of these pages. Oh, I can tell already that it did, right? It's going to take all of these pages up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 pages of our UI and populate them. So I can just tell you, like, we've done videos on V0, Bolt, and Lovable on the channel here. I'll put a link for them in the description below. But for me, I think it's just too much for an application like those to do both UI and the functional development of. So how I would use this in practice going forward is I would create the UI here in Stitch, and then I would use just a backend tool. And maybe it's Google Firebase Studio. We're going to do a whole video on Firebase Studio. So if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe so you get notification when that video comes out, okay? So honestly, subscribe. We're going to do one about Firebase video. Maybe it's just that Firebase and Google Stitch can talk to each other, and we just say, hey, cool, this is what I want to make, go make it. And we create a brief description about what each of these pages does, right? But like, man, if you landed on this page, you'd be like, heck yeah, this is super polished, really good looking stuff. I'm in. I trust this brand. And I think that's what tying this back all the way to the beginning is like, that's what this is all about, is like anybody can create anything in minutes these days with AI. For you to succeed as a brand, it's got to look great. It's got to work great. It's got to be the right price. There's all these things, like the game is elevated. The milestone of acceptable release, like the MVP, is just so much higher than it used to be because it's so easy to get to here, right? We did this in about 10 minutes. So I think my big takeaway from this is like Stitch, absolutely going to be a fundamental part of my web and mobile design going forward. It will replace people and people's jobs. And that's just the unfortunate reality of this, is why would you hire a designer when you can go and do this yourself? I don't know. But I would pair this with something like V0, Bolt, Lovable, or Google Firebase Studio to build the actual application with no code and AI in just a few minutes, okay? So if you're enjoying this, please like, subscribe, smash the bell, tell a friend about the 100 Days of AI. I'm doing 100 videos in 100 days all about AI to transform my life and yours, and I truly hope you're enjoying it.